Hello everyone, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a think aloud in the field of mathematics. Okay, so today we're going to read a text titled Anatomy of a Circle. I'm not quite familiar what the word anatomy means, so I'm going to circle it and maybe put a question mark. I'm familiar with the word circle. I know it's a geometric shape, so we're probably going to be talking about something in geometry. Okay, let's start reading. A circle is a round shape. So a circle is a round, something round. We see circular objects around us every day. Yeah, I'm thinking of the moon. The moon is round and it's something you see every day. When you get into a car, you are riding on 4 circular tires. If you have any change in your pocket or purse, you have some circular coins. So they're providing some examples themselves of circular things. So we know tires and coins are circular or round. So circular is round. Wherever we find them, all circles have the same parts. Let's look at the anatomy of a circle. I see now. So anatomy means parts, right? We're talking about the parts of the circles, the anatomy of the circle. So we're talking about what makes a circle. So anatomy is parts. So we can kind of highlight that now. Parts, anatomy. Okay. Every circle has a center. I think that's an important word because I think that's the first part we're going to talk about since it's bolded. So every circle has a center. The outside edge of the circle is made of points. All the points around the edge are the same distance from the circle center. Okay, that was a lot to take in. Let's try reading this. The outside edge of the circle is made of points. Okay, I think we can use that diagram to help us. It's saying the outside edges of the circle is made of points. Let's try drawing that in. Maybe that would help us. They're saying these are made of points. All the points around the edge are the same distance from the circle center. So it says here this is the center, right? So if I draw line segments, right, remember line segments from last lesson, these should all be the same length, okay, or the same distance from the center. I think that's an important concept, so I'm gonna underline it. Okay. Like other points in geometry, the center is identified with a single letter. Yeah, I remember from last lesson too, we talked about points in geometry are usually represented by capital letters. So we have the center here is labeled with a capital T. Whatever letter names the center of the circle names the entire circle as well. Since the center of the circle below is point T, this is circle T. So whatever we label the center, this becomes the name of the whole circle. So if I draw a circle and label a center C or O, then becomes circle C or circle O. All right. I'm still not quite understanding though, how is the edge made of points? That's maybe a question for my teacher. Or maybe it can be clarified if we continue to read. All right. If you draw a straight line from one point on the outside edge of a circle and go through the center point to another point on the outside edge of the circle, you have drawn the circle's diameter. Okay, I'm so confused now. if you draw a straight line from one point on the outside edge of a circle. So one point, I'm gonna use the diagram they provide here because it says diameter. If I draw one point on the outside edge of a circle here, go through the center point, this one, to another point on the outside edge of the circle, this one here, I have drawn the circle's diameter. Okay, let's try doing that again. So one edge on the circle, go to the center, and then to another edge on the circle. So is that a diameter as well? Let's reread. If you draw a straight line, wait a second, so it has to be a straight line. So this is not a diameter. It has to be straight. So something like this, for example, instead is going to be a diameter. All right. So I'm going to highlight this one as well. So I'm gonna go back and say first, second. I'm kind of labeling the parts of the circle. And then we have the third one here, a radius. I'm gonna see what a radius is. I'm gonna say this is third. Okay, a radius of a point, of the circle is half the distance of the diameter. It connects the center point to one point on the outside edge of the circle. They kind of display the radius here. So one point connects the center point to one point on the outside edge of the circle. So this is radius. I can draw another one. I think this is also a radius, right? From the center to one point on the edge. And they say something important here, that it is half the diameter. So we can say radius equals half diameter. So this is a nicer way where we put the words into an equation. Radius equal half diameter. All right. The distance around the outside edge of a circle is called its circumference. It takes a little more than the measure of 3 diameters to go around a circle's circumference. Circumference. That's a big word. I'm gonna call this the fourth one. Okay, the distance around the outside edge of a circle. So this distance here, the outside edge of a circle, is called the circumference. It says it takes more than the measure of 3 diameters to go around the circle's circumference. So if I have 3 of the diameters, it's a little more than that to go all around the circle. The additional amount is where we get the number pi. Pi. Pi is a decimal number that starts as 3.14 and continues on forever. I remember that numbers that continues on forever are called irrational. So I think irrational. So pi, I'm gonna say pi is irrational number. Okay. It can also be shown as the symbol pi. I think that's an important symbol to learn, a new symbol to learn here. Mathematicians also use pi to find the area of a circle. Interesting. I actually now remember my sister talking about pi. She was joking and said, never talk to pi, he'll go on forever. So this is interesting. I kind of understand the joke now. Pi goes, it's a number that goes on forever. It's an irrational number. Right, that's it for my Think Aloud. Thank you so much.